Hello and welcome to City Beat. I'm your host, Tamika Keenan Norman, Chief Communications and Marketing Officer for the City of Rocky Mount. And if you haven't noticed, I'm standing in front of what will soon be the Rocky Mount Event Center. Yes, it is coming fall 2018, and I'm very excited about today's show because we want to let you know all about the progress of this facility, which I believe is going to be a transformational project, not just for downtown Rocky Mount, but for the city of Rocky Mount and for the entire region. So joining us on the show today, we'll have Brad Kerr, Director of Engineering for the city of Rocky Mount and owner's representative for the project. And you'll also have a chance to meet Marcus Murrell, who was recently hired as Event Center Manager. So stay tuned for what will be an exciting show. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. This is City Beat. More is coming up next.
Bye, Janet. It's nice seeing you again. You a good girl. Just let me know what I can do to help.
Well, to help me, she'd have to help every day. Every hour, every ouch, every time my wife calls for help. I mean, maybe she could help me make her lunch. But the crust, all the crust has to be cut off the corners. She could help me run to the doctor for the 5th time this week. Help me with the specialist and the second opinions and the painful paperwork about paperwork. Help me deal with how hard it is seeing my wife's name on so much paperwork. But this is on me. I'm the only one who can do this, like this, for her. Besides,
Take care.
we will. Janet doesn't like her cooking anyway.
Find support for your strength. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community.
Hello and welcome to City Beat. We are your central source of news and information for the city of Rocky Mount. I'm your host, Tamika Keenan Norman, and if you haven't been to downtown Rocky Mount in a while, then you'll be in for a surprise. Lots of progress happening at the Rocky Mount Event Center, and we're standing here in front of the soon-to-be center, which will open fall 2018. And joining me today is the Event Center Manager, Marcus Murrell. So thanks for being a part of the show today.
Well, thank you for having me.
It's a little cold out here today.
Yeah. It's much different than South Carolina where I came from.
Yeah, exactly. So you don't have on your coat, but I'm going to be bundled up for the whole show.
No problem.
Okay.
No problem. Gotcha,
Well,
gotcha.
how long have you been in Rocky Mount now?
I've been here for 3 months now.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
3 months. So beautiful city, really friendly people. It's been a blast since I've been here.
Well, congratulations on your appointment.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and welcome to Rocky Mount.
All right.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about yourself, because I think you said originally you're from Connecticut.
Originally, I'm from Connecticut, but for the last 13 years, I've been living in Columbia, South Carolina, where I worked at the Columbia Metropolitan Convention Center as the Director of Operations. And before there, I lived in Miami, Florida for 3 years as a Director of Operations at the Miami Convention Center. And before Miami, I lived in Charlotte, North Carolina for 3 years as the event coordinator for the Charlotte Coliseum.
So you've been all over the place.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, I think when I read your resume, over 15 years of experience in the event industry.
18.
18. Oh, excuse me. And where did you attend school?
Winston-Salem State University.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Rams, right?
Ran Pride all the way.
All right.
I graduated with a degree in sports management.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your last role in Columbia, I think you
Right.
said, right? What were some of your responsibilities
Well,
there?
in Columbia, I was in charge of the day-to-day operations of the facility. I was in charge of housekeeping. I was in charge of the operations department, the maintenance department. I was in charge of working with all the event managers, of preparing for events, and working directly with the clients.
Okay, so you come here with plenty of experience. Tell me a little bit about what you're going to be responsible for here at the Rocky Mount Event Center.
Well, in this capacity here at Rocky Mount Event Center, I'll be in charge of the whole day-to-day operation from sales, marketing, business development, operations staff, concessions, and getting business. So I'm in charge of the whole shebang here.
Wow, so
Yeah.
lots of responsibility
Right,
for you,
right,
but something that you're accustomed to.
Oh yeah, I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Now, a lot of folks may ask, you started here, I think November,
Right.
around that time frame, right after Thanksgiving to be
Right.
exact.
I was still full from Thanksgiving.
So, that's almost a year before the center opens
Right,
tentatively.
right.
So what are you responsible for now before the center is officially open?
Well, right now what I'm doing, I'm a one-man show. I haven't got a staff yet. So right now I'm doing sales, getting out trying to get business for the event center before it opens, because we don't want to wait until this beautiful facility is open before we get business. So I'm out here doing sales, marketing, and then I'm also developing the policies and procedures for the actual facility. So when we do open up, we'll know exactly what we can do and what we can't do, and getting out here, meeting the community, letting the community know that we're out here. So that's what I'm just doing now.
Okay, so where do you work from? Because I know you don't have a desk out here on site, do you?
Well, I'm over at the City Hall building right now, and I'm enjoying it. I'm meeting a lot of the people in City Hall, city manager, the assistant city manager, the mayor. So I'm meeting a lot of people, and they're just welcoming me to the city.
Well, good. That's a good thing. Now, you talked about positions earlier, and I've had a few calls as well. When will you start filling some of those roles, and how will folks find out about it?
Well, right now we advertise in the Telegram for any position that we're going to have open now, but we're planning on having a job fair in April. So anybody's interested in working at the facility, just check out the Telegram in April, and we should have the information then about the job fair.
Okay, gotcha, as far as where it's going to be and all that good stuff.
Right.
All right. Are you excited? How do you feel about taking on a project of this magnitude?
I'm very excited because I see that the city and the community is excited about it, and I feel honored to be entrusted to make sure that this project runs correctly. So I'm really excited about this opportunity.
Well, we're excited to have you.
All right.
And is this the reason that you ventured to Rocky Mount? Because you named Miami, you named Columbia, all these different places. How did you find out about Rocky Mount?
Well, being in South Carolina and being there for the last 13 years, I always had a love for North Carolina. And whenever I had the opportunity to get a chance to move back to North Carolina, I would just jump on that opportunity. But I got lucky where they was building this facility, and I was able to stay in my profession and come back to the state that I love. So it's kind of like a win-win situation for me.
And I know we were talking earlier, I think you said you have some family that's in North Carolina as well, so that makes it easier.
Even easier. My father he's in a small city called Harrods, which is outside of a small city.
Oh yeah, where I'm from, that's my neighborhood because I'm from Wallace, so I'm very familiar with that. And for folks who don't know, that's close to Wilmington because they probably never heard of it, but yeah.
Yeah, my grandmother lived in Dunn, so I got family in Fayetteville. So I feel like even though I haven't lived here, I feel like I'm home.
Well, that's a good thing. It's always a good thing to have family around, and we hope you'll be here for many years to come. Yeah. But anything else that you want to add, Marcus?
Well, I just want to say that I've been up and down the East Coast. I've traveled a lot, and one thing I got to say about Rocky Mount, these are the most friendliest people I have ever met. Anywhere from the Y, from the Walmart, from restaurants around the area, everybody is friendly, everybody speaks, and it's just an honor to be here. So I just thank everybody, I'm thankful for the position, and I'm thankful for being part of this community.
Since you mentioned the community in some specific areas, what are some unique assets that you've noticed about Rocky Mount that kind of set us apart from other areas?
I love the development, and I see the potential in Rocky Mount. I see that Rocky Mount is going in the right direction. Years ago, when I first started in Columbia, South Carolina, before the convention center was built, I saw how it looked, but then 13 years later, I seen that whole area do a 180, and there's so many businesses and hotels came behind it. So I see the potential with this event center here that's going to same thing can happen with Rocky Mount.
And I remember that because I used to live in Charleston. I would go to Columbia, and you saw that transformation. And I think this is going to be the key for us.
Exactly.
Yes, it's pivotal for us. So
like that movie Field of Dreams, build it and they will come.
There you go. There you go. Well, thank you so much for being a part of the show today, and hopefully we can get you back as well.
All right.
As things get moving.
Well, thank you for having me.
All right. And thank you for tuning in as well. In just a moment, Brad Kerr, Director of Engineering and also owner's representative for this project, will be on the show. So stay tuned. More of City Beat is coming up next. Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education? What are you gonna do?
Graduate and take some office job?
Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher.
You got the skills, the smarts. Yes, you.
You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess?
What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
Hello and welcome back to City Beat. I'm your host, Tamika Keenan Norman, and if you're just tuning into the show today, it's all about the Rocky Mount Event Center and the progress that is taking place at the site of this 165,000 square foot facility. We interviewed Marcus Morrell, the Rocky Mount Event Center manager, a little earlier, and now joining us today is our Director of Engineering and Owner's Representative for the project, Brad Kerr. So welcome back to City Beat, Brad.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, before we talk about the progress, tell me a little bit about what owner's representative means.
So essentially I'm a project manager for the cities, represent the owner's interest. We do meet a lot, but I'm one member of a large team that's working on this project. You see people everywhere. But we're really looking out for the city's interest, making sure the project's on track, coordinating work that is not directly responsible to the contractor. We have some communications work that needs to be brought into the building. I'm coordinating all of that. We have some outside utility work outside the scope. Various other issues that arise, trying to get that coordinated. And then anything that the contractor needs owner's input from, I'll either coordinate those answers, investigate those answers, or work with our other team that's working on managing this project to get those answers and direction to the contractor when they need them.
Okay, so it sounds like you're a busy guy.
A little bit.
Yeah. Now you talked about making sure the project is on track. Are we on track? The date I continue to hear is October 2018 is a tentative date. Are we on track for that date?
We are on track. There was a little bit of lost time recently with the winter weather, but we expect the contractor will be able to make that up.
Okay.
Yeah, the snow and cold weather, right when we try to pour concrete doesn't help with the schedule. But.
Gotcha. And you know, last time we talked, we were on the opposite side of the facility, but you didn't see a lot of progress. I think you all were doing soil testing at the time.
I believe they were prepping the pad at the time.
Yeah, and so that was, I think, during the summer. No steel had gone up yet.
Nope.
So tell me about some of the progress since that time.
Well, as you can see, quite a bit.
Yeah.
So, steel is essentially complete. There's skin in the building. Mechanical, electrical rough end's been going on underneath the slabs. Almost 75% of the slabs have been poured. The stud walls are going up. You see that on the inside. A lot of progress. A lot of things going on.
And it's amazing, you know, if you haven't been to downtown in a while and you see this, it is just transformational.
It is.
It really is.
Fills the place up, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And you know, you talked recently at a recent council meeting about an unforeseen circumstance with soil. Tell me a little bit more about that, but it didn't cost the city any additional money, right?
Yeah, that's correct. So we anticipated some unsuitable soils in the project, budgeted for those. Unfortunately, the amount of unsuitable soils exceeded by quite a bit what we had projected. However, there are general contingencies arranged for in the projects for just those kind of circumstances. So we had to eat into those contingencies a little bit to cover that additional cost. But it's one of those things you got to be prepared for, and we were.
Exactly. Always some unforeseen circumstances.
Absolutely.
Now, I think earlier you told me this is a 4,200 seat facility, primarily for amateur sports, but remind folks about some of the other uses for the Rocky Mount Event Center.
All right, so in addition to the field house, which is primarily set up for amateur sports, basketball, volleyball, it's got a removable wood floor, so that field house, 72,000 square feet, could be used for, it can be configured for a concert setup, for a college basketball center court setup, an arena setup. It can be divided in half, and you can have volleyball on one end and basketball on the other end. We can take that floor up and do trade shows and various conference events. It's got a banquet hall. We've got meeting rooms upstairs. The banquet hall can be divided into meeting rooms or be a large event inside the banquet hall. We also have a family entertainment center. And that has in it a thing called a ropes course, indoor ropes course. I think some of you know what that is. Called Clip and Climb, which is basically various climbing apparatus that you can do, and a thing called Velocity. And until I actually get inside it, I don't know if I can explain exactly what it is. But it's an activity center. It's another attraction in there, and then arcade and those kind of things. So can be used for corporate events, training events on the indoor ropes course and those kind of things, but it also has party rooms, so you can do birthday parties or whatever kind of events you want to do around that family entertainment center. Also on the north end, we've got a cafe, and I think those are the big things in it. So.
Right. Now, what about the OIC medical facility?
In addition to everything we talked about, we have the OIC medical facility is down on the southeast corner. And it's attached to the building, but has its own entrance, will operate as its own entity for the most part.
And Brad, a question that I get frequently is about parking. So where will folks be able to park when the facility opens?
So we've got 321 spaces directly adjacent to the site. In addition to that, we've got approximately 2,000 public spaces within 1,500 feet of the facility, and there's an additional 3,000 private spaces within the facility. So within 1,500 feet of the facility, there's 5,000 available parking spaces.
Wow, so lots of parking.
There is. We are going to be working on a plan to assist with the identification of the parking, because folks don't realize how much we have. We are going to be working on a plan to install some uniform public parking signage, so people will be more easily find their spaces.
Okay, sounds good. What we're going to do is we're going to go to commercial break, but then Mark Adcox, our videographer, is going to take us through, and Brad is going to help us and show us where the field house will be located, the entertainment center, all that good stuff, right inside the Rocky Mount Event Center. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Peter, and there's nothing I love more than sharing vegetables with my friends. Come on in! Help yourself to anything. That's why we give our food the utmost respect it deserves. Did you know there are simple steps we can all take to help save food? You can cook it, store it, even share it. Just don't waste it. Because when it comes to food, better ate than never. To learn more, visit SaveTheFood.com.
Hello and welcome back to City Beat. As you can see, we are now inside the Rocky Mount Event Center, and Brad Kerr, Director of Engineering and Owner's Representative for the project, is kind of give us an idea of what we can expect once the facility is completed. So Brad, I want you to start with the main entrance of the facility.
Yeah, so where we're standing is the main entrance to the facility. Stairs will be coming up off of Main Street. If you've seen the renderings, the flags flying on the posts out there, that's will be mounted on those posts. We've got some planters roughed in on either side. So you come in the main door. If you look to the right down here, and we'll walk down in a second, it's the Family Entertainment Center. And if you look to the left is where the cafe is.
Okay, so how many entrances to the facility?
So there's two primary entrances. There's also an entrance down at the banquet hall, and there's some emergency entrances with the loading docks and those kind of things. But public entrances, we've got these set of doors, another one on the other side, and the doors at the northeast corner where the banquet hall is.
Okay, so I'd love to see this field house that we've been talking about for so long. So take me over to the field house.
You want to go to the field house?
Yeah.
All right. So as you come in the front, the main set of doors, there'll be a hallway and a set of doors right into the field house here. There's another set of field house entrance down in the middle.
Okay.
So you walk into the field house. Be an elevator on your left to the second floor.
Okay. And now when you mentioned the field house, this is for the primary use of the facility, correct?
That's correct. Well, we also have the banquet hall.
Right, okay.
And the meeting rooms that'll be up on the second floor. But the amateur athletics will happen right here. So 72,000 square feet can be configured for 8 basketball courts or 16 volleyball courts. Can be divided in half, and you can have volleyball on one or basketball on the other half. If you were at smaller tournament events, you can see this a concrete floor here. The wood floor will be able to be taken up and stored, and we can do trade shows in here. When it's divided in half, we have permanent telescoping seating, so we can set it up for a concert or set it up for an arena event. The floor is also set up for a college-sized court, so you can do a college tournament here on the single center court arrangement.
Wow, this is huge.
It is big.
Yeah, this is my first time stepping inside, so it's good to see the expansiveness of the field house.
Yes.
Yeah, so where to next, Brad?
Where to next? So over on the other side, you see here that the lean-to on the back side, that's actually storage for the facility.
Okay.
So there's some movable bleachers, various other things that get stored inside there. In the back corner over there, that roof is the OIC clinic.
Okay.
So they have their own entrance from the outside. There's a connection between the two, but it will operate in itself. There's just a single door to connect them.
Now you mentioned the meeting room, which is right here, correct?
Yeah, so the banquet hall.
Banquet hall.
Yeah, so if you come back over out here, and then you'll come down this way to where the cafe is. So the cafe through here. I think the food court sits here. The kitchen's behind that. Cafe seating is out here. There's actually a set of stairs right here that goes to the second floor. So right through here is what we call the pre-function area. So when you go to a conference and meeting rooms, you have all that lobby area in front.
Okay.
That's what this will be. And then the meeting rooms on the back end, by kind of where that steel is where all the meeting rooms will be. Can be opened up to one single large room or divided into, I think, 6 rooms.
So in other words, Brad, you can have more than one event going on at one time.
Yes, we can. We can have a banquet going on at the same time we have a basketball tournament, athletic event of some sort going on. People can be eating at the cafe and some activity going on down at the Family Entertainment Center. So you've seen the renderings with the big pointed roof?
Yes.
This is it right here.
Wow.
So you're standing under that kind of swooping section of the roof. So down through here will be this southeast entrance, northeast entrance, excuse me.
And so this will be entering right into the banquet hall area.
Well, you'll come into the pre-function area and has the hallway that wraps around the banquet hall, which is right in here. So what you can't see very well right now, but you'll see this shelf right through here that comes around. There will be a wall where the steel is. So we have the mezzanine level on the lobby side, and then we have this concourse all the way that wraps both sides of the building. So you'll be able to sit up top. And we'll have some seating up top as well. But you'll be able to be on that concourse level and view down onto the event floor.
But you'll have a good vantage point.
But you'll have an excellent vantage point.
Okay.
So we got our other set of doors, should be right here. But these are the doors, the middle doors that go in. So we'll have a set of doors on that end and a set of doors on this end. And actually, so right through here is where the divider curtain goes. It divides this thing in half. So you have one set of doors on if it's split in half.
Okay.
You go from one side to the other.
And that's how you can get away with having more than one event at the same time if you need to. Okay.
Absolutely. Be able to subdivide the space, or if people want not that big floor, they just want a more intimate space.
Okay.
So you can divide it off even if something's not going on. You could do a banquet on one end, and then you can lift the curtain and then have a trade show on the other end. So now we're standing in the Family Entertainment Center. So over here, there's some bathrooms, party rooms, those kind of things right through here. But the rest of it will be ropes course down at the one end, clip and climb in the middle, and velocity sitting somewhere around right in here. And you'll see all these windows. You'll be able to see all of that stuff from outside as well.
And it'll be neat because you'll be able to see it from the main entrance area.
That's right. From Main Street, you'll be able to see into the building and see these various things that are inside.
Okay. Seeing the rendering is one thing, but when you're actually in here and see it for yourself happening, then it's really, really exciting.
It is. It is. A lot happening.
Well, thank you, Brad, for taking us on this tour.
You're welcome.
We appreciate it. And thank you as well for tuning in to another edition of City Beat. If you want project updates, you can always log onto the website, RockyMountEC.com. I'm Tamika Keenan Norman. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of City Beat.